Ugh. Look, I understand there's always going to be a difference of philosophies when it comes to video games. I get that modern games provide a certain level of variety, especially when it comes to a specific gamer's approach on how they want to jump into it. That's immediately obvious by the sheer number of weapons, attachments, and gadgets in any given game that's been provided to you. Most shooters, for example, have a plethora of various weapons from ARs to shotguns, from long-range rifles such as a sniper rifle to SMGs and LMGs. Even your sidearms are of various manufacturing and styles. I can, on occasion, understand the argument of skins, decals, stickers, and whatnot to spice up your visuals in games like Call of Duty or Fortnite. My own personal preference for something like Battlefield is realistic uniform camo patterns and realistic-looking weapon skins. But again, that's just a personal preference. I understand preferences in classes, weapon choices, things like that. Hell, I love the incendiary grenades the most. I mentioned before of my preferences in scopes and reticles and other attachments. And some people prefer the assault class, while others would rather play recon. Okay, no worries there. Some yet prefer to fly the helicopters or jets, while others either have their boots on terra firma or pretend they're mechanized infantry. Games have over a ton of menu items for you to choose from, but behavior is not preference. Behavior is intent. There's a certain kind of behavior that doesn't fit any certain kind of game approach, philosophy, or logical game preference. And we're going to shame it today. I think I need to set the stage here, fellas. There's a huge difference between new to the game and figuring shit out, panic, being, shall we say, unorthodox, and just not playing the objectives as intended. It could be argued that, well, I'm playing the game like I want to, and that's fair. There's objectively wrong, and there's subjectively wrong. Okay, I mentioned this briefly before, but it seems some of you are not getting the message. So I'm going to channel my fellow hood rats here and spell some things out for you. If you fire up the game, load into a session, and decide, I'm going to get in that tank, that tank had best be going into the correct direction, towards the objectives. There's no other place to go. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen folks in tanks using a tank as a sniper rifle to out-snipe snipers. Especially when said snipers are now nowhere near the objective. Man, what the hell are you doing? Spot them bitches and let others handle them. Or they hang back because they're fragile. The player or the tank at this point, I'll let you decide. Because they claim it's suicide and yet die horrible explosive deaths anyway as far back as the last objective that we took by some damned miracle. I see a ton of people on my own team hop into some armor like it's the last tank on Earth, fire that bad boy up, adjust their seats in a slightly reclined position, hoot and holler, load up, and do absolutely fucking nothing with it. At times, they just sit there, not even firing a damn shot. Or worse, they figured out how to drive a stick and slam that bitch into reverse, and go as far back as the HQ as possible and just drive around in circles. Like, not shooting anything, just hanging out. Trying to pop wheelies or something. Meanwhile, the opposing team have their shit locked down and hyper-focus on murdering the snot out of us. They somehow have 2 tanks just going scorched earth on us literally in our faces, just mowing us down, kicking ass and taking names. Killing our revive tickets, which leads into our side not only losing, but they mop the floor with us. Now on public servers, there's no server rules. I know this, but that doesn't mean we should all go rogue like that. If friendly fire was on public servers, man, I'd take one for the team, purposely respawn, load back in as recon, and plant C4 on your vehicle and detonate it, destroying the tank and killing you at the same time. And I would sleep with the fan on at night. Get your dumb ass out of the HQ area and roll that monster up to the objective and kill some players on your way, or GTFO your ass out of the driver's seat and let someone who obviously knows what the hell they're doing come support your teammates so that we could try to win. I cannot express how much this one thing of player behavior annoys the absolute shit out of me. It's like you all got dropped on your head as a child or something. Like, what the flying blue fuck are you doing down there besides nothing? We're over here getting pummeled and you're over here screwing around. Last I looked, there's no challenge for just sitting there in a tank with your thumb in your mouth. I had a more colorful image to paint for you folks, but you get the idea. Let's see. The challenges that do exist, or have existed, last I checked, were get certain distances traveled in ground vehicles, get a certain amount of road kills, capture objectives in a vehicle. I will say that again slowly. Capture objectives in a vehicle. You also have get some kills or assists with ground vehicles, and destroy vehicles while in a vehicle. That's it. None of these assignments or challenges suggest or include hanging out in the HQ and just sitting there looking pretty. Look, first off, if you're thinking you should do this sort of blue falconry, you're in the wrong game. If you think this is okay, you should be publicly shamed. Seriously, I don't recall this nonsense in previous titles. The only annoying thing I remember back then was not hitching a ride fast enough because those players had one thing on their mind: mindless murder. If you lollygagged at the HQ area back then, you were footing it. Lost points for doing so because they sped their way to cause oblivion. True hood rats. You scrubs purposely doing absolutely nothing in the tanks at the HQ area, you aren't players. I seriously have doubts of your claims of being gamers, and quite frankly, you're posers. Get your ass up the hill and participate in the goal of winning the match, or GTFO. It's bad enough when the opposition is just going ham on us, bleeding our tickets. Remember, kids, Battlefield 6 does have, and I say this in air quotes, skill-based matchmaking mechanic. But it's designed to prioritize ping and server location, using skill more for team balancing rather than creating strict, sweaty-inducing lobbies like some other games we all know and love to hate. Allegedly. And some players still find this SBMM strong, especially in smaller modes like Breakthrough or Rush. The system considers ping, location, server ability, and then factors in skill to, allegedly, create fairer matches, aiming for a better gameplay experience. That is the official read. But we all know it doesn't pan out like that. One of Battlefield's long-standing notorious symptoms of this SBMM is that one side is almost always stronger than the other. Rarely are there any close games. It's almost always a wash, one way or the other. Battlefield dads and average gamers already struggle just to play the game, and then we gotta deal with this nonsense? You doing donuts in your tank? And you're definitely contributing to that wash and wipe by fucking off in a tank we desperately need while you're back here in the HQ area. And you might think it's funny. It's not. You're more of the Blue Falcon than medics who don't revive. Like, what purpose do you think you're serving here? What, you couldn't land on the team you wanted to be on? Or the side of the map you wanted to be on, and thought keeping the tank away from the team you didn't want to be on in the first place would be a fantastic idea while you wait for the match to end and then rotate out the players and switch to your favorite side, defender or attacker? Man, if that's the case, just log out of the damn session and try another one. I don't understand this trend of blocking access to the tanks we would need to try and even the playing field mentality. I just don't get it. It's like there's a group of players out there who spent too much time researching TikTok challenges and somehow landed in the game during while we all get our asses kicked. But Hannibal, my armor is weak and I don't want to scratch the paint. Man, I don't care. Get that tank up there or give me the goddamn keys, you asshat. The point of armor being here is to help support your team. You could bring in the heavy firepower, use it as a distraction. Hell, I'd settle for you road killing while we tried avoiding the meat grinder of an objective. At least you were being useful. I know I'm not the only one who's experienced this ungodly dumbassery. You load up the game, you got plans. You have some time on a Friday night where you could stay up a little later because there's no office to go to tomorrow morning. You've been looking forward to getting some time in-game all week. You pick up your favorite loadout and you fire up the match and you're leaning forward, ready to exact revenge on whatever you've been tackling within the last game time you've had. Or you're going to work on some KD ratios. Perhaps work on some in-game challenges like arming or disarming the MCOM, or work on revives. Uh-oh. The other side has armor. Okay, a slight adjustment. You're not overly concerned with it. You'll just keep an eye on it, just in case. Ah, shit. Here comes 2 armor. Okay, time to change tactics. We're getting cream now. Cream. Or, okay, where's the tank on our side? Son of a bit. Some what's-his-nuts has the only tank we have and running around in circles like some bizarre Benny Hill skit. I'd insert Benny Hill, but the video would be flagged and buried on YouTube. Sorry, boys. Anyway, there's challenges available for vehicles, even the aircraft to land vehicle engagements. Look, if you're running a stock Bradley, here's the loadout you're wasting while you're doing donuts in the HQ. The default loadout when you first use the Bradley comes with the following standard equipment. Primary weapon, a 25mm autocannon with automatic fire. A secondary weapon, a tow missile single fire system. A gunner weapon, which is the M2 heavy machine gun. And there's passenger weapons and shit like, I don't know, the M240C machine gun. An equipment slot for smoke countermeasures. And another equipment slot for the quick reload package. Progression unlocks earned through vehicle XP in matches allows you to unlock additional options for the Bradley, such as driver weapons like the primary shell options, which include high explosive, anti-personnel, and armor-piercing rounds. Secondary options such as aim-guided missiles, lock-guided missiles, and light rockets. In the gunner position, we have primary weapons like light and heavy machine guns, a grenade launcher. Secondary options include a targeting designator and smoke wall. You can even work on customization and upgrades like field maintenance, targeting jammer, reinforced plating, and system upgrades. Equipment options like the smoke generator, thermal blocking smoke, emergency repair, proximity threat detector, and counterfire radar are also unlockable. And of course, the all omnipresent cosmetic unlocks. Oh, and there's other armor in the game too, with their own unlocks and upgrade progression systems. Look, kiddos, unlocks are tied to vehicle usage, and your progress can be tracked in the in-game menus where you can also customize your loadout. If you're under some delusion that your armor is weak because some skilled player landed some good RPG shots and blew you up, or you weren't spotting for mines while driving like a bat out of hell towards or away from something, or a recon was able to walk up on you unnoticed and drop C4 Christmas presents on your tank like some weird hood ornament, then start working on these unlocks, like the reinforced armor. The other team, I guarantee you, has worked on theirs and have already unlocked the armor-piercing rounds, and that's probably what smoked your ass from the other tank. And for you engineer guys, the ass end of the Bradley is the weakest point of the whole vehicle, but the driver may have slapped on reinforced armor. Keep that in mind. Look, I'm just some random dude on the internet spouting out opinions into the void of the internet. But I call it like I see it. And it is entirely possible that I'm simply just asking too much of the player base. That is indeed a possibility. Hell, it might be more of a probability. But it makes no sense to me that a player is doing non-PTFO things, and then the very same player literally asks in the in-game chat at the end of the match, "What did we lose?" Seriously, my dude? Man, why the fuck open your mouth? I bet you got one of those trailer hitch fake nut thingies on the back of your truck. And some of you are right. The armor in Battlefield 6 is objectively weaker than previous titles. Good news for you, kiddos. That's due to feedback. Players pissed and moaned how the armor was just too overpowered in titles like Battlefield 4. So like a good little gaming company, they listened to the feedback and adjusted the strength of the armor. I mean, what did you expect? The pendulum has now swung to the other side. Now, instead of too hard to kill, they're too easy to kill. So, just like a squad, you gotta coordinate with your team when you're using a tank. It's not impossible. I see it on the receiving end all the time because someone else did what I'm telling you now. Work on those tanks. Progress through those unlocks. Kill opponents. You're not having fun getting owned by the opposing team as it is, and then these clown shoes come onto your team, making it worse by hopping in on the tanks and doing absolutely nothing with them. It's almost like they're trolling. And if that's the case, why the hell am I not surprised? I bet you they're the same people saying the game is dying and the sky is falling.
The sky is falling! It hit me on the head! The sky is falling! The sky is falling!
Look, man, your mama raised you better. And if she didn't raise you better, well, then both of you need to be slapped. GTFO out of the damn tank and let someone try to play the game and use it for what it was intended for. Supporting the team, clearing an objective, distracting opposing teammates away from those objectives. You just look like an ass clown sitting over there doing nothing with it. I think I should do a Wall of Shame segment going forward. Record dumbass stuff like this and posting it. That way we can all mock the action going on in the video. Battlefield memes. Yeah, that sounds like fun. I shall consider this option. Subjectively, it can be much harder to work on these vehicles and their attachments as a player in a random group. This is one of the many reasons I always suggest finding a clan or platoon. Being in a decent group does tend to help not only make the grind a bit easier, but make the whole game session more fun, which is, after all, what we're trying to accomplish here. We're here to do hood rat shit. So go grab your goon gear and terrorize the maps. Well, I'm glad you made it through my little Monday midday massacre of what the fucks and the armor sucking on their binkies. So thank you so much for watching. I'm still working on the classes content requested by some of you. It started out as a single video, but the more I worked on it, adding details and such, it was clear I needed to make separate class videos, and that's going to take me some time. I'm also looking to drop them in sequence, though. Remember, there's a slew of things about the channel, sister channels, friends of the channel, merch things, and other shout-out information in the video's description. Most importantly, this month's Veteran Spotlight is located at the very bottom of the video description to make it easier for you guys to find. Please check them out. Each month I do a different one. Again, thanks for watching. And until the next one, keep up with the hood rat shit. Out.